Hello, good morning, students. As you know that we have already started lesson 1.2. On to the summit, we reach the top. So in my last lecture, we have finished some part of that lesson 1.2. So I'll just summarize that part. In my first lecture, we have started with that lesson. Left Camp 8. So Tenzing Norgay along with Hillary, they leave Camp 8 and they start their expedition. With him, he carries flags also. Then they have rope with them to keep them safe. Rope is also called a symbol. And there was a controversy that who is first. So, in order to stop that controversy, Tenzing Norgay, Hillary, and Colonel Hunt, they signed a pact. An agreement is signed that we have seen. Okay. Now, next part we will start. That is page number 18, last paragraph. Okay. So, with the help of slide, I will like to share that. Okay. Now see, we are starting page number 18. First thought. Now, first thought, after reaching the top, he expressed gratitude to God. See, children, there are many things we can learn from this, or the qualities these people have. So, after reaching the top, he wanted to express gratitude to God. Gratitude means thanksgiving. He wanted to thank God for helping him throughout this expedition and taking him safe to the place which he wanted. So normally, what we do when we get success in life, we don't remember God. We remember God only when we have problems, troubles, and failures in life. At that time, we remember God. Now see, Tenzing Norgay, he has reached the top, means he achieved success in life. The first thought which came to his mind is expressing gratitude to God. He expressed thanks to God for helping him to reach this destination, for blessing him, Tenzing to achieve his goal. So he says that God has blessed me in achieving my goal, achieving my target. Then he placed offerings to God on the summit according to the Buddhist religion. So he was the follower of Buddhism. So according to that, he wanted to place some kind of offerings. Now, Tenzing could not kneel due to his clothes. And because of that, he offered a silent prayer. Now, kneeling down means what? To kneel down means to become humble before God. So Tenzing, because of his uniform, because of his outfit, he could not kneel down. That's why he just stood silently and he offered prayer to God. Okay. Then next, what were the offerings of Tenzing with him? The offerings were biscuits, candy, and blue pencil. See how simple these offerings are, no? There are biscuits, candy, and blue pencil. And his youngest daughter, Nima, had given pencil to put as her offering. So his daughter Nima, she gave one pencil to her father, saying that when you reach that top, when you reach the summit, You put this blue pencil as a offering. Now, when we offer something to God, we should offer without making noise. Means we should not make it public. Nowadays, we find people give lot of donation, gold, silver to God, and then they make it public. Now, my question is it acceptable to God? If you are offering gold, silver to God, making it public, now is it acceptable to God? Certainly not. Your offering should be without noise. Means your left hand should not know what is your right hand is giving. Okay, so all these offerings were put by Tenzing Norgay when he reached the top. Pencil was ordinary, you know that. Pencil is very ordinary, 2 3 rupees like that. But that pencil was a prized possession. Prized possession means what? It was a treasure. It was a treasure for that small girl, which she willingly gave to her father to put it as an offering. Then these offerings were shown to Hillary. Now, Hillary may be somewhere down. There may not be place for two people to stand on that summit. So he showed those offerings to Hillary, and Hillary smiled as if he understood. Now these people, they were not able to speak with each other, so they used sign language. Okay, they had oxygen mask on their face, and they just use sign language gestures in order to convey their meaning, words, thoughts to each other. So Hillary smiles as if he understood what Tenzing Norgay wants to convey. Okay, now in your textbook there is one question like list the ways in which Tenzing Norgay celebrates on reaching the top. What are the ways in which Norgay celebrates when he reached the top? Okay, that answer you can write on the text itself. Then next, one more mission which Tenzing Norgay had to complete, that is the flags. Flags were given by Colonel Hunt, and Tenzing Norgay was having Indian flag also with him. The flags were tied to the string. So he was not having any poles, no big poles which we have on 15th August, 26th January. So he was tying those flags with a string, and it was just 4 feet long. It was just 4 feet long, and he fastened it. Fastened means tied it. Now fast meaning differs, no? Fast means we go without food, or fast means to run a race, or here the meaning is changing. Fasten means to tie. He ties one end of the to the axe. Hillary took pictures as he held it up. So as he tied the flags to the string, Hillary took pictures. Tenzing had to bring the axe down. So one end of the string was tied to the axe, but they wanted the axe, no? Axe is used as for protection, or to make steps, or to make way. So he had to bring the axe down. So what he did, he buried the one end of the string in ice on top, and the other in the snow of the slope. So they tried to adjust, some kind of adjustment was done. So anyway or anyhow, they tried to fix those strings which were having those flags in the ice and the snow. Flags were flying flat against the summit. So the flag started flying flat against the summit. Tenzing felt thirsty but could not quench or satisfy his thirst. Now, after completing the mission, after reaching the top, after completion of that expedition, Tenzing was thirsty. He wanted some water to drink. Now, he could not quench his thirst. He was not able to satisfy his thirst. Why? Because the water in the tumbler had frozen. The water which they were carrying in the tumbler. Tumbler means a metal container. It was frozen. It was turned into ice. So you might be imagining, no, what kind of condition they were going through. Their throat was parched, dry throat, and they wanted some water to drink, but they couldn't as the water was frozen. It was turned into ice, and they ate some biscuits. So Tenzing, what he did, uh, he ate some biscuits and he offered some to Hillary. Okay, you could imagine, you can experience now. If the throat is dry, how can we eat biscuits? So, how much trouble that took, how much hardship that goes when any mountaineer wants to complete the expedition. So, it was very hard and difficult. Now, next, Tenzing was wearing a red scarf. He was having a red scarf around his neck. His friend Lambert, he was the leader of the Swiss expedition, had given him. So on May 28th last year, when they were standing at 28,215 feet, so he was carrying that scarf. He had tied that scarf around his neck, which his friend Lambert has given him in the Swiss expedition. And as he reached the top, when he reached the summit, he remembered him, that is Lambert. He remembered his friend Lambert. And as soon as he remembered, he felt like he was with him and absolutely fit. So he remembers his friend because of the scarf, he remembers Lambert, and as soon as the thought of his companion, that is Lambert, comes, he feels fit. Means all his hardships and his tiredness goes away. Now he didn't feel tired. When he remembers Lambert, he didn't feel tired of that, and he feels exhilarated. Exhilarated means happy and excited. Then next, below, hills and mountains looked like gods and goddesses to him. So when he looked down from the summit, he saw hills and mountains as if they are gods and goddesses. The plains looked like broken pieces of maps. The plains, no, the flat land looked like broken pieces of map. 2 or 3 people could stand if you cut the roof of the summit. Now he is just describing, no, that place, that is summit. So he says if you cut the roof of the summit, only 2 or 3 people could stand. So congested that area is. Only 2 or 3 people can stand. If you cut the roof, the point of the summit. 20 to 30 feet below the top, only 2 people can sleep on the flat square. Again he says, if you come down 20 to 30 feet below the top, only 2 people can sleep on that flat square. And you could pitch a tent, or if you want, you can pitch a tent on that. The summit is flat on the one side and steep on the other. So he's just explaining, describing how that summit looks. It is flat on one side and steep on the other. So it was very risky to climb that. Snow on the north, rocks on the south and the east, and snowy rock on the west. So he describes the summit, how fearful it is. Then, when they reached the top, he says, they stayed there a little more than 15 minutes. So much trouble they took to reach that summit or the peak. So much days they were traveling, but when they reached the top, when they achieved success, they could stay there only for 15 minutes, only 15 minutes. Because maybe the climate may be adverse, no? But they were lucky. Tenzing and Hillary were lucky or fortunate. There was no gale or strong wind. Gale means there was no strong winds. Now, the second thought was how to get down. The second thought which came in the mind of Tenzing is how to get down. On the descent, Tenzing was walking behind Hillary. So Tenzing was trying to come down now. While coming down, Tenzing had to follow Hillary. In the beginning, Hillary was following Tenzing. Now, Tenzing has to follow Hillary. He followed Hillary and held the rope tightly. So rope was very much important in that expedition. It was also a symbol which kept them together as a team. Tenzing's determination was to make sure Hillary descended safely. He was determined, no? He was determined to achieve success as well as he was determined to make sure that his companion should descend safely, should come down safely. Now, see, success, they want to achieve success, but success should be in hand, no? We should not climb opponent's shoulder and get success. Success should be in hand. We should help each other in the journey called success. So climbing down was difficult than climbing up. Because if you slipped, there would be no trace left of you. So while climbing down, if you slip, or if you are not careful, then you will directly fall into the valley and your body will not be found. That is what Tenzing says. Now here we end page number 19. Now we come to next section, that is page number 20, that is last section, more caution needed. Climbing down takes less time but needs more husiar. Husiar means, it is a Hindi word used. Husiar means caution, careful. Then Tenzing thanked God for saving him from accidents. Every now and then, right from the beginning of the expedition, Tenzing was thanking God. He was praying God that he kept him safe and sound. He helped him in achieving his goal. So every now and then he used to thank God for saving him from accidents. If up till now there have been no accidents, he hopes there will be none in future. So he was quite sure, he was confident that up till now there are no accidents, untoward incidents happened with him, and in future also there will be no accidents. He always prayed to God and he saved him. So he was a God-fearing person, righteous person. So he always prayed to God and God was helping him, saving him. At Camp 9, they were in no mood of talking. Maybe because they were tired, exhausted, so they didn't talk with each other. They just stayed there for half an hour and they drank some boiled lemon water and just took sleeping bags and left everything in the tent. Now their expedition is over. They did not want to take anything with them. They just had boiled lemon water and they just left. Okay. Then next, from Camp 9, they came to Camp 8. So that is called return journey, no? Retreat. From Camp 9, they came to Camp 8, spent night at Camp 8. Above Camp 8, there were other group members. So when they came to Camp 8, there were other group members who were there waiting for them. Then Tenzing raised his hand with his thumb up. He just raised his hand and he said thumbs up means they are successful. They succeeded the expedition. Noisy and Low saw them and their faces flushed with joy. Now, there were two friends, Noisy and Low. When they saw these two men, group members, Tenzing Norgay and Hillary, they were happy, their faces flushed with joy because they have completed this expedition. Now, in this way, Tenzing was able to tell about their success by just raising thumbs up. He told the whole story to their companions. Now, as they got nearer to Camp 8, Low came to meet them about 300 feet with tea and coffee. Okay, so these people, when they saw these Tenzing and Hillary, they tried to give them some kind of beverages, no? That is tea and coffee. Another 50 feet down, Noisy brought more tea. So when they came another 50 feet down, one more person called Noisy, he brought tea to them, but the tea smelled kerosene. Okay? The tea was smelling like a kerosene. Maybe in those times they may not be having those gas cylinders, small, no? Gas stoves like that. So they had to carry the stove with them, no? So while preparing tea, some kerosene might have got into that cup. So in a hurry, some kerosene got into the welcome cup. But Tenzing thought the trouble he took to bring it. So he didn't got angry or he didn't drink that tea mixed with kerosene because he was a very thoughtful kind of person. He thought that my companion, no, they took so much of trouble to make this tea, but by mistake some kerosene got into that cup. But Tenzing thought that the trouble they took to make this tea. And lastly, he says he was going to enjoy whatever the smell that tea is. I am going to enjoy it. So in this way, this lesson ends, written by Tenzing Norgay from the archives of TOI, that is Times of India. Archives means collection of records of group of people. Okay. Now, here we end with this lesson, but on page number 21, you have some kind of activities there. Okay. So those activities you can solve. Wave diagrams are there, tables are there. Then some active voice, passive voice are there. Spot the errors are there. Then later writing is there. Degrees of comparison, positive, superlative. So all these activities are there. So you can solve it. Or if you want, we can solve it here also. So I hope you understood this lesson. You can read it again and try to solve the activities which are given on page number 22, 23, like that. Okay. So thank you very much for listening.